Hey geometry students, in case you weren't here with us today, we did 16.1, which is all about the Pythagorean Theorem and how we can use that to solve for missing sides on right triangles. So I'm just going to use this video to do an example from your homework for how we would do these problems. So this is going to be number 3 from your assignment 16.1. Okay, so we're given a right triangle and we have 2 of the sides, we're missing the third. So the first thing that we have to do is, for the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And a and b are the 2 shorter sides on your right triangle, and c is the longest side, also called the hypotenuse. So the first thing that we have to do is figure out which side is the hypotenuse. There's a couple easy ways to tell. One is that it's the longest side. This side is clearly our longest side. Also, you can tell because it's the side that's across from the right angle. So here's our right angle in the corner. The side across from that is your hypotenuse. So this 20 is going to be C. And then for A and B, it doesn't really matter which of your other 2 sides are A or B. The order doesn't really make a difference here because we're just adding their squares. So what I'm going to go with is that this side is A and that this side is B. So now we're just taking these numbers and plugging them into this formula here. So since A is 10, I'm going to go 10 squared. We don't know what B is, so I'm just going to leave it as B squared equals C squared. So C is 20, so I'm going to say 20 squared. So now I use my calculator, or if you just know some squares off the top of your head, you can do it that way. 10 squared is 100. Still don't know what B is. And 20 squared is 400. Okay. So then from there, we want to get B by itself, so I'm going to subtract 100 from both sides. So B squared equals 300. And I'm not done just yet because we have this square in here. I don't want the square. I want to know just what B is all by itself. So to undo the square, we have to take the square root on both sides. So we get B is the square root of 300. And there's a couple of different ways that we can write this answer. The square root of 300, you might use a calculator that tells you that it simplifies to 10 root 3. That's fine. You also might use a calculator that gives you the decimal version of it, which tells you that it's 17.32, and a whole lot of other decimals, but I'm just going to round to 2 places. Any of these answers is fine with me. The most exact answer would be one of the ones with the square roots in them, but this one will also work. So any of those answers is fine. Alright, so there's our example on how to use the Pythagorean theorem. Yeah, so hopefully that was helpful. See you guys in class.